Hey, what's going on, guys? It's ETA Prime back here again. Today I'm back with the T95Z Plus Android TV box. This thing has an 8-core CPU. It's an Amlogic S912 CPU. 4 of the cores are clocked at 1.56 GHz, and 4 of the cores are clocked at 1 GHz. So it uses the big little core system. The specs will tell you that the cores are clocked at 2 GHz, but I can assure you they are not. Amlogic has tricked the kernel, and it does not run at 2 GHz. If it ran at 2 GHz, this would be a phenomenal setup. But we're at 1.56. This particular model has 2 GB of DDR3 RAM, an SD card slot, Ethernet 10x100, AC Wi-Fi, 16 GB of onboard storage, and the GPU is a Mali T820 tri-core GPU clocked at 750 MHz. Let's get into it. I want to test out some Dreamcast emulation, but before we get started, I just want to let you know this is an old version of Recast. This is the only one I could get working on the box. This is the one from the Play Store. Development has stopped on the Dreamcast emulator for Android, so in the future, this is probably not going to work on a lot of devices. As newer CPUs, newer chipsets, newer operating systems come out, this will no longer be compatible. Really sucks, because this was the only Dreamcast emulator for Android. And it did work very well on older devices. Now you might be saying, this thing's way more powerful than my S3, but my S3 runs everything pretty good. Your Samsung Galaxy S3. And that's because this was in development when the S3 was released. So that may have been one of their development platforms. Older devices might run this a little better. I'm not really sure about it. A lot of the newer stuff coming out runs this like crap. All the other builds I tried, all the CI builds from their website, just crashed. There's no way I can get them to run on here, so this is an old one. Let's get into it. First up, Sonic Adventure 2. And I have to turn the sound off on this game because it does use copyrighted music. Every time I've posted it before, it's been flagged immediately. But if you remember playing this game back in the day, you know that first song. He's rolling around at the speed of sound. And we're going to go with Hero, so we'll play as Sonic first. Another thing is, the FPS should be listed up in the top left-hand corner, but with these newer operating systems, I have noticed that it doesn't work any longer on a lot of this. We only get the double X's. Not sure if it's due to the kernel, chipset, whatever it is. I really wish somebody would take this emulator under their wing and finish it up. If I could, I definitely would, but that's not what I do. I mean, I would have no clue where to start, how to optimize this. So Sonic Adventure 2 does run pretty good. It's not quite at 60 FPS. Now, I've played this game on tons of different devices, so I can tell you, most definitely, we are at 45, 55 FPS, hovering down there. Few graphical glitches in the signs. There is a frame skip option, and you can always turn that on to get a little better performance, but I do not like frame skip. I try to leave it off as much as possible. I don't want to trick people by turning frame skip on and telling them, oh yeah, it runs super well, because I hate frame skip, no matter what system I'm on. If it doesn't play at full speed, I usually don't mess with it, you know? I'll mess with other settings, but frame skip is not one of them. But it's really not too bad on this box. You could get away with playing this at the frame rate it's sitting at now. The graphics are great. You will get some popping off in the background. So we'll be moving to another game now, and that's going to be Marvel vs. Capcom 2, another problematic game. Some systems run this game flawlessly, some of them have a lot of character sprite malfunctions, and this is one of the boxes, or one of the chipsets, CPU, GPU combination, that has those glitches, which pretty much renders the game unplayable. Frame rate's great, but I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So there we go. As you can see, tons of sprite glitching. It's really unfortunate because this is one of my favorite Dreamcast games. This and Power Stone 2. But for me, I can't play it like this. The frame rate is good. It's probably at 60 FPS. But as you see, it's just not even worth trying it out. And I've went through the settings. I've turned all the settings off and on, trying to get it to work. Changed the region and everything. It's just something that's not going to work great on this box. We'll try another game here. And I could not get Shenmue, or Shenmue, whatever you want to call it. I could not get it to boot up. It would boot up to the main screen. I'd click start and it would crash the recast emulator. San Francisco Rush 2049. So sound is really glitchy, and look off in the distance. This happens so much on the Mali GPUs. And the frame rate is down to 45, 50 FPS. It's just so upsetting that they stopped development on this. And I know how hard it is to do something like this. I mean, I can only imagine how much time it took to even get this up and running in the first place. They got family, real jobs, not making much money. This was a free app on the App Store with no ads. So this was kind of a labor of love, and sometimes you just fall out of love. Try a different game. Next up, we'll try Virtual Tennis. Now, I found this game to work great on a lot of devices. Other than some menu glitches, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Maybe it won't show up here. Yeah, you see his shirt glitching out. Other than this, that was actually really bad. But other than that, the gameplay on a lot of devices that I've tested has been really good. And this is probably not going to be one of those times. Yeah, actually, not bad. Totally playable. We're at 60 FPS. Come on. Yeah. Hole in one, baby. Touchdown. We don't get the replay. It's a black screen. So I really just wanted to demonstrate some of these games running. Now it's kind of getting pointless to try this emulator out on a lot of these boxes because off the bat we know it's not going to work. And it's not due to the hardware, it's due to the software. Let's try one last game here, and that game is going to be Power Stone 2. So this has to be my all-time favorite game for Dreamcast. Amazing game, and back in the day, this was our Super Smash Brothers. So far, so good. Let's go to the boat stage. This is very laggy because there's 3 boats, a lot of stuff going on. We got water, tons of particle effects. Okay. Get my buttons right here. No! Oh, you douchey. What's going on here? Just keep pressing the wrong button. So it looks like it's running pretty good with 2 players. Let me back out of here and get a 4-player game going on. That way we have 2 more characters on screen and it'll take up a little bit more GPU power, CPU power. Alright, 4 players on screen. I do notice a little bit more slowdown here. Just try to take them out. Runs really good. And I've tested this on tons of devices, so even with 4 players, you should definitely be able to deal with any kind of lag that you do experience, which I don't notice much at all right now. And there's a lot going on in this stage, so this is a very optimized game for the Dreamcast. There we go, good. Alright guys, that's going to be it for now. I really appreciate you guys watching. If you could, hit that like button and subscribe. I got a lot more coming. If you want to see anything else running on this box, let me know in the comments below. I'll be doing a N64 video up next. I've done tons of videos on this box. I really love it. It's a very nice box for the price and the best box that I've found so far. And I've used four different boxes besides this one. This will be my 5th Android box. This is the one I like the most. Now, next year, we're probably going to get a better chipset out. More power, better GPU. But for now, if you cannot afford the NVIDIA Shield Android TV, this is a great option. I'll leave links down below to GearBest and Amazon. I got mine from GearBest. It is cheaper than Amazon, but it does take 2 to 3 weeks to ship to the US. If you're not in the US, you might be able to get it quicker, but I'm not really sure. Like always, thanks for watching.